Hello my dorks, it's the Dork Author here, and a few days ago I had a epiphany. A lot of people have been wanting creepypasta debunking to be coming back, which I have promised and will do in due time, but something else was also recommended to me by a friend, and it's something I used to do quite a bit before, but something I haven't really focused a lot on, and today I would like to explore that. So today here is the first episode of Deep Dive into Creepypastas, or as we shall call it for short, DDIC. This is the series where I will be picking apart famous and well-known creepypastas, giving my thoughts on them, how I would improve them, and overall how I feel about them. I always do kind of a short, opinion-based thing towards the end of every creepypasta narration I do, but I've never actually taken the time to fully review a creepypasta, give my full thoughts on it, how I would change it, etc. And I think it would be a fun idea to do it, so without any further introduction, let's get into the target of this first episode, the Tails Doll Curse. I'm going to begin this with a short summary, so you guys can be caught up with what the Tails Doll is. Also, for the sake of this, the Tails Doll story I will be referring to is the original one, not any other remake/reimaginings of the story. So without any further delay, let's get into it. The Tails Doll Curse begins with two gamers, Gil and Noah, going to look for games for their Sega Saturn at an EB Games. They find a copy of Sonic R and go to purchase it, but when they asked about the price, the salesperson told them to take the game and go. They both did this and rushed back to Noah's house. When they finally arrived back at Noah's house, they put the disc into the Sega Saturn and began the game. But when launching the game, they didn't see Sonic or Knuckles on the title screen, only what looked like Tails. Noah thought this was a glitch or something hacked, but Gil apparently knew that it was something more evil or sinister. The first oddity they noticed, besides the title, was that the first race was laid out in a more sinister way. The track was dark red and black, the music, Can You Feel the Sunshine, was now playing backwards. And when Noah beat the race, he unlocked Super Sonic, which is impossible to do without collecting all of the Chaos Emeralds. Gil caught onto this and asked Noah how he unlocked Super Sonic so quickly. Noah didn't know and brushed it off. They finished the second game, and it said, Challenger approaching. This stayed on screen for 2 minutes. It then cut to a picture of Sonic being violently attacked by something that looks like a stuffed animal version of Tails screaming very loudly. Then the race began. They realised Sonic was moving by himself without Noah being able to move him. And when they finished the race, it looked as if Tails won, but in actuality it just said the pair won. It then said the Tails Doll, and the Tails Doll Curse was unlocked. Suddenly a letter appeared, and upon reading the letter it was the Can You Feel the Sunshine lyrics backwards. The TV then began vibrating. Noah took a hammer and destroyed the TV. They then went upstairs to Noah's bedroom because they had a spare TV in there, but the broken TV began to vibrate and released the Tails Doll. After taking some time to relax, they heard a doorbell ring. Noah went downstairs, opened the door and saw no one was there. This repeated for a few times until eventually they found what looked like a Tails doll just on the doorstep. They took it inside and washed what appeared to be blood off of it in the kitchen sink. The Tails doll then began following them, and eventually it was upstairs with the pair. They brushed the doll's behaviour off and continued playing. They played the tag game as the Tails doll, and when they tagged the last person, the Tails doll came to life. It then violently attacked both of them, ripping Noah to shreds. Gil ran downstairs, took a baseball bat, and tried to attack the Tails doll, but the Tails doll proved too strong, and took the life of Gil. The police came by the next day, found their bodies, but no evidence of the Tails doll was there. One of the police officers found the Sega Saturn and began playing the tag game. Alright, now we're on to the actual review. I've been wanting to talk about the Tails doll for quite a long time in depth, and I'm glad I have my chance here, so I will do. The story starts off perfectly normal, with two friends looking for games for their Sega Saturn at EB Games. And honestly, I really don't have much of a problem with it for quite some time. Because think about it logically. Games like this could be very easily hacked and changed in a way. So the music playing backwards could be triggered by a certain line of code, the title screen could be messed up because somebody messed with the actual files in the game, etc. And this could be the same for unlocking Supersonic after the first race. I really don't have much of a problem with this story. Yes, it's a bit silly, but that's just the general premise. However, in my opinion, this story really loses it towards the second half. Basically, as soon as the letter appears. Out of thin air, apparently? Like, how does that make any sense? Like a letter just poofing into existence. Why doesn't the pair question it further? Like, that's just very silly and extremely unneeded. You think what they could have done was maybe have like a mailman come and knock on the door and drop the letter off that way. Or maybe it's just being mysteriously posted through the door. Literally anything could have been better than it just poofing into existence. Then they read the letter, not questioning where the hell it came from, not, getting rid of it or anything. And then the TV begins vibrating, okay? So the logical thing for Gil and Noah to do, well, Noah specifically, is to grab a hammer and smash the TV. Why don't they just turn the thing off? Take it out, go take it to a professional. Why is the first thing they do just smash the TV? What I would have done here is maybe have the pair try and mess with it. Maybe unplug it, plug it back in, try and mess around with some of the HDMI settings, if there were HDMIs, I'm pretty sure there were. Maybe, I don't know, have the Tails doll appear on the screen with like a creepy message. That could also be believable, because again, it's very easy to argue that the person, or whoever modified the game, could have easily inserted that as another line of code to be triggered. So they go and just mind their own business after breaking the TV, no kind of consequence there, they don't try and clean it up or anything, they just leave it, right? And then of course we get to the doorbell fiasco. It's easy to believe somebody could be pulling a prank on them by ringing the doorbell, nobody's there, blah blah blah. But this story really gets me when the Tails doll just appears randomly on the doorstep, covered in blood. Okay, let me ask you people, what is the first thing you do when you see a blood-covered, unknown doll from a game that you were just playing that was very messed up? Do you A, take it to the authorities, B, just ignore the thing, C, you burn the damn thing, send it right back to hell, or D, take it inside and wash the blood off? Take a guess which one they do. Yes, okay, I have so many problems with this. Why on earth would they just take the doll inside? They just don't question the fact that a random doll covered in blood just appears randomly on their doorstep. I have a real problem with this, and I don't know why the original author included this. I'm trying to think how they could possibly introduce the Tails doll in a more believable way. Again, maybe just have somebody drop it off. Maybe with the Tails doll, the original letter with the "Can You Feel the Sunshine" lyrics comes. That way it's a little bit more believable. Why would the Tails doll be covered in blood anyway? I don't know. Okay, so after that fiasco, they just wash it off again, not telling anybody, not turning it in or anything. And another issue I have, the second that thing moves from its original spot, they should immediately do something. Why did they just say, oh, it moved, oh, that was just an accident, blah blah blah. Why don't they immediately suspect something? Dolls don't move on their own, people. How does Gil and Noah not realise this? Maybe just have the pair take the doll upstairs with them in the first place, not just leave it randomly. And then, I don't know, when the game begins going crazy again, then the doll gets possessed or something. I don't get why they would just have it randomly moving from the get-go. That doesn't make any sense. So they play the tag game as the Tails doll, right? Yeah, that goes normally. Again, that could very easily happen due to tampering with the game, blah blah blah. And then the thing comes to life, and then it begins attacking them. Okay, I know this has to happen for the sake of the story. We all know that dolls typically can't move, right? So how would I write this scene better? Just don't have them die. The Tails doll is tiny. How would Gil and Noah lose to this thing? It's tiny, it's barely their size. Better yet, why don't they go call for help? Surely there are phones in the house, why don't they just call for help? But no, instead of taking the logical route, they just randomly die, like they don't put up more of a fight against the doll. There really shouldn't even be a fight against the doll. Why didn't any of them initially start fleeing when the doll started coming at them? I just have like a million different questions on how this scene was written, why this scene was written. I just don't understand. But if you thought the worst part was the Tails doll coming to life and attacking them, no people, that is definitely when the police get involved. They just begin playing the tag game. That is so wrong on so many levels. Why would they play with the evidence of a crime scene? That does not make any sense. Morbid curiosity, maybe, but why would they include that? I don't understand. I also don't understand why they aren't more suspicious. The two kids just randomly ended up dead, broken TVs, etc. It's really silly, the ending of the Tails doll curse, and I think it could have been done better. Alright, now that I've got my grievances out of the way when it comes to the Tails doll curse, how would I write it and fix it properly? Again, I would leave the first bits generally the same. Gil and Noah going at the EB games, getting the game, blah blah blah. The first thing I would do and change is just make the pair play the game longer than they did. I mean, they only played it, what, 3 times? Maybe have the pair go through all of the levels, seeing how the Tails doll or whatever corrupts it. It could have been cool seeing their reaction to other music being played backwards, etc. So give the story more depth, more build up. Then after the whole fact of Sonic being wildly attacked, finishing it, unlocking the Tails doll curse, etc. Instead of the letter just poofing into existence, have somebody drop it off, maybe the doorbell rings and lying on the floor with the letter would be the Tails doll and the letter, instead of having them arrive separately. That's how I personally would do it. Because, again, I would rather write the Tails doll completely out of the story, but we can't do that because we wouldn't have a story. Also, when the TV begins vibrating, don't have them destroy the damn thing. Instead, just have them unplug it or something. That would be a bit more realistic. Also, the doll would not be covered in blood if I was rewriting it, because they have to have the doll in the house somehow for it to go crazy. So it would be like a normal Tails doll, they would take it into the house just out of sick curiosity. Maybe they just like the look of the thing. That I could buy a little bit more than it just being covered in blood. Have them bring it directly to the bedroom so we can completely cut out the scenes of Gil and Noah seeing it move, etc. That way we can build up the hype of the Tails doll coming to life and attacking them later. Have the tag game go relatively the same, but I don't know, maybe have some kind of weird message at the end. Some kind of weird chant, or other kinds of things, maybe even like a hypnotic thing. And then the Tails doll comes to life after this thing has been done. Have the pair escape and maybe end up somewhere else, maybe somewhere more vulnerable, and then have it end with the Tails doll sneaking into their room, and then silently dispersing the two of them, instead of having the cops tamper with the evidence. So that's how I would fix the Tails doll if I could. Again, it's not going to be a great story even if I try and fix it. The premise itself is not going to be something that's 10 out of 10 worthy. But I think the ideas I've brought up here, I think this is how they could try and fix the Tails doll to be a bit more presentable as a good creepypasta. Not great, but something above average. So generally I have a lot of problems with the Tails doll curse, but we can all agree that it's definitely rather iconic. So here are all of my thoughts, grievances, how I would change the Tails doll for the better, everything, and my whole general review of this story. If you enjoyed this and you would like to see me review other stories in depth this way, give my grievances and how I could fix it, etc., be sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below. What creepypasta should I go into depth with reviewing? I hope you enjoyed this video and this new format. I may alter it in the future, who knows. But I will see you all later. Take care, my darks. If you enjoyed the video and you would like to continue the scares, be sure to click one of the videos on the left or right, and click the channel logo to subscribe, and check the description if you want to join the Discord. Thank you for watching, and stay scared.